Welcome back. We have an update from FendX Technologies, Inc. It trades on the OTCQB under the symbol FDXTF and on the CSE under the symbol FNDX. It's a Canada-based nanotechnology company focused on developing products to make people's lives safer by reducing the spread of pathogens. Please welcome its CEO, Carolyn Myers. Welcome back, Carolyn.
Hi, it's nice to be back.
All right, the update time is on you, and then call me back when you're ready for questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. Hi, everybody. It's nice to be back. As you may recall, we are working on developing nano coatings using our nanotechnology. Here's our forward-looking statement. Essentially, the reason we're doing this is because our nano coatings actually repel or reduce significantly the adherence of bacteria and viruses to the surface, but also liquids like water, blood, and other organics. And as it relates more specifically to bacteria and viruses, if they can't adhere to the surface, it's very difficult for them to be transmitted. And that's really what we're focused on as we develop our products, which is to keep surfaces clean and protected from contamination, and in turn, the spread of that contamination. So why are we doing this? And I've said this before, but I always think it's a good idea just to remind everybody. It's because surfaces are a major source of contamination. In fact, greater than 80% of common infections are actually transmitted by touch. And currently, disinfecting is not sufficient enough to provide 24-hour protection of surfaces. They're only as good as while they're being used because most of them are liquid, and when they dry, those surfaces become prone to contamination again. And in addition to that, many of the bacteria that we all know, like MRSA, C. difficile, and others, are actually antibiotic resistant, and they're very difficult to treat, particularly in the elderly and the immunocompromised. And unfortunately, they don't do terrific when they get one of these infections, and can potentially die from them. These types of infections are one of the top 10 causes of death in the United States, as well as globally. And in the US alone, it's getting closer to 100,000 deaths per year, costing a significant amount of money, direct dollars, to medical expenses to treat these infections. So how do our surfaces work? Essentially, our nanotechnology is very unique and quite innovative. We found this technology through McMaster University, and we've licensed it and licensed the IP. And since licensing the IP, are developing nano coatings. And how they work is they provide immediate and continuous protection. So it's 24 hours a day, and they protect the surfaces by reducing adhesion of bacteria and viruses by more than 98%, which means less than 2% of the bugs actually can adhere to the surface. So how do they work? Essentially, this is a surface that our coating is applied to. You put a hand on it that's contaminated. The contamination tends to stay on your hands rather than get transferred to the protected coating. Unprotected coatings, however, that contamination does and can get transmitted to the surface, making the surface contaminated, and for somebody that touches it after the contamination has been applied to the surface, can, in theory, get the bacteria and potentially get an infection from it. Our lead product is Repel Wrap Film, and we are with our manufacturer. In fact, we just completed another manufacturing run with our manufacturer. Their name is Dunmore. They're a globally renowned film manufacturer outside of Philadelphia. We've been doing a sequence of pilot runs with them to optimize the manufacturing process, which we have confirmed we can automate, with the idea of bringing down our cost of goods so that we can price our film at a product that is going to be acceptable to our end users, which will be healthcare, and other industries with high touch, high traffic areas like schools, arenas, transportation, etc. So we're getting extremely close to starting our beta testing or real world testing. In fact, we released on Friday a first beta site. They're in Toronto, a high-end Italian restaurant where they're very excited to be working with us to test our films on their high-touch surfaces. And as we move forward, we will continue to engage with additional beta testing sites, and you'll hear about them over the next few weeks that are in various industries, because we really want to have a variety of industries test our product to confirm that the film, after it's been in place for a period of 1 to 4 weeks, maintains its performance. That is, it prevents the bacteria from sticking to the surface. Once we've completed that, which should take no more than 2 months, we are going to move into commercial production with the idea of having a commercial product ready by the end of 2024. And the first market we plan to enter is Canada, and soon thereafter the United States. And we anticipate being revenue generating in the first half of 2025. We do have more products in our pipeline. Our spray nano coating, which I am hopeful we can get across the finish line. This product, when you spray it, it actually creates the same film that Repel Wrap film does. In other words, it coats like this, it stays in place, it provides immediate and continuous protection. It's just a different way to be able to apply the coating to the surface. And I like this because it has the potential to expand applications beyond flat surfaces or to other form factors. We are close to the end of formulation, and we'll have some news coming out hopefully in the next couple of weeks with regard to advancing the formulation and transferring it to our nanoparticles manufacturing partner, Nanocomposites, who are a nanoparticles expert company in San Diego. They will assess the formulation and commence the scale-up work once we transfer the formulation to them. The last product that we have in our pipeline is coating catheters. As you may know, catheters and certain kinds of catheters can be prone to contamination or infections, or causing infections, I should say, or prone to getting blood clots, like central venous catheters. Well, our nanotechnology has been shown in McMaster's lab to actually reduce the adhesion of E. coli to the nanotechnology by more than 95% and prevent blood or fibrin network formation. And you may know fibrin networking is a precursor to blood clots, have reduced it by over 96%. So we're hopeful that we can finalize the prototype and enter into a proof of concept study later this year to confirm that we can actually reduce infection rates as well as reduce blood clots. And if that's the case, we're hopeful that after that, we will be able to find somebody to partner with, one of the large catheter companies, who will help de-risk the program and partner with us to develop and conduct the clinical studies. And I just want to close by saying that we are looking at additional uses of our nanotechnology. For example, we're looking at many opportunities, but one that I find interesting is potentially coating stents. As you may know, stents can lead to clotting. And again, we have shown that we can reduce the adhesion of blood as well as fibrin networks on our nano coating. So that could be something that we add to our pipeline down the road. And there are other ones we're looking at as well. But at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is looking for assets that we can bring into the organization to complement what we're doing in the infectious disease space and add to our product pipeline and to our IP portfolio. Ideally, it'd be great to be able to get an accretive product or something that's close to market. we are looking at a number of opportunities at this point and hoping that we'll be in a position to move forward with some business development licensing activity in the near future. And, as I said, we're going to be launching Repel Rep in Canada first. The intention is to quickly come to the U.S., which is where the real opportunity is, but also go to other global markets. In Europe, the Asian countries as well. We have patents pending in Europe and other Asian countries, in the U.S. as well as Canada. In fact, our China patent was granted a few months ago, which to me, well, they may not be that important in China, but what they do support is the fact that we have been able to get over the hurdle of prior art. And if that's the case, then maybe that's a good step forward in terms of us seeing success in the U.S., Europe, and Canada, which the claims are currently under review with each of the patent offices in those countries. So we're hopeful as we move forward. There'll be lots of great news, and stay tuned. And I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn, so much. We do have some questions for you. Excuse me, sorry. We have to move over to our next presenter. We are out of time, but we'll send these questions to you so you can answer them on your own. But thank you for this update.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Everyone, be right back with Strawberry Fields.